Greetings and salutations, Pokemon fans. We are here to comment on a game from the finals of the Black and White World Cup. This game just ended like 10 minutes ago. I did not watch it live, so I'm not sure what to expect. And I thought it would be cool to just go in completely blind, although that's usually what I do anyway. Right. The finals is between Asia and I honestly forgot. I believe it's a South American team, but don't remember quite which one. My bad. Peru, maybe? I think it's Peru, but I'm not 100% sure. Whatever. It doesn't super matter. Right. So what do we have here? We have a team that you could see. These type of teams were much more popular a while ago, a long while ago, right? These are like 2016, 2017 coded team. GHE as the steel type. Kind of fast overall, but very light as well on offense. Like all these mons are decent offensive threats, but none except for the Latios is like this massive, like instantly click the nuke button, like a lot of other mons that are more popular nowadays. And you don't have spikes either, so it's a bit lighter on offense, and it's still not super strong defensively. Like it's okay, nothing great, nothing crazy. Looks very weak to Rotom Wash as well, but there's no Rotom Wash on the other side. As for White Atoq's team, this is a Hail team with Kyurem Black and like a very defensive core of Gliscor, Jellicent, and Fortress. GHE might be defensive or might be Scarf, which I'm more inclined to believe that this is Scarf on this type of team. And then you are like, I don't know, Specs Abomasnow and whatever Kyurem Black, or even a Specs Kyurem Black and a more defensive Abomasnow. That's also okay. Very weak to Latios, so this may turn out to be a very hard game for Atoq, right? Your only half viable switch in is GHE, but you have Hail, and so you're kind of gambling on just winning before your opponent does, but then you have a very slow team with only 1.5 offensive threats. Right, so let's see, what do we lead with here? I will lead Gliscor. Why Gliscor? Well, you get rocks up quite fast. That's always nice. You can Protector one against everything on this team, and then tank the Landorus HPIs if your opponent leads Landorus. If your opponent leads Keldeo, you scout the item, and then you can go Jellicent. As for same goes for, say, Starmie. There is an argument we had where you could lead a Abomasnow, maybe. It depends on the Aboma set, I think. If you're fast, offensive, I don't think you should lead with it. But if you're slow, then sure, you can lead Aboma. But maybe you can lead Aboma even if you're fast. And if you lead into T-Tar, you can threaten, say, a Woodhammer or just switch out. That's perfectly fine. You don't really have a strong T-Tar switch in if it's Beam plus Fire. Or even if it's just Beam, like, you're kind of forced to go Gliscor. If you lead the Boma against T-Tar and lose the Weather War, it means you're faster, yeah, but you cannot really damage T-Tar. Not severely, at least. Although, you don't super need Hail. In fact, maybe Sand Up is even better for you. It depends on the Kyurem Black set as well, right? If this is Kyurem Black, then maybe Hail is more beneficial to you, but there's also a possibility that... No, yeah, you lead Aboma, and you don't super care. Even if Aboma dies, at least you have axed the Keldeos survivability, which is a big unknown in this game. Another option, you could lead maybe... If it's Scarf Rachi, you could definitely lead Rachi, I think. U-turn on most things, including Lando. You can just U-turn into Gliscor. It's not great because it could get dicey immediately if your opponent clicks Ice, but I think that's insane. Right, so I think Aboma into like lead Aboma are Gliscor probably in if you're Atoq. If you're Void, you what do you click here? You could lead Landorus. I think you should lead Landorus if you're a Void here. Against Gliscor, you just click Rockstar 1. Against Aboma, well, you can check if if your Intimidate goes first, you're faster. It goes before Snow Warning, rather. You're faster, you can just U-turn out. In fact, you can just U-turn into Titar immediately. Or, well, if your Aboma switches, you can U-turn into something else. And if your Intimidate goes second, then you know that your opponent is running Scarf of Bosno, so you just immediately are Tyranitar. That's it, really. Other leads, I don't think make much sense for Void, unless this Jirachi is, say, mixed with a way to hit both, like all three of the first three mons. Right, so yeah, if you have all of Fire Punch, Ice Punch, and a move that hits Jelly, which is pretty rare, then I can see it work. Although the problem with that is that you don't really do that much damage to Jelly, and then you don't really have a good Wisp switching. So I'm Team Landorus. Of course, if you lead Lando into Jelly, the problem is the same. But at least you can U-turn, and if this is a balloon, then at least you can break that, and then the sand / hail will do a lot of work. Although there's also a chance that this is like Scarflando and like Roxrachi or even Roxtita, but I think that's a bit weird. So lead Lando probably and lead Aboma. I think that's the play for these sides. Let's see if I get it right or if I washed. Okay, that's a Latios Aboma. So okay, sure. This depends on the Aboma set. Okay, protect, so you're not Sash. If you're max special defense, you can maybe stay, but probably not. Okay, there's a Specs Latios against a max HP Srirachi, or well, maybe not max, but it's got some defensive EVs. Alright, you turn, obviously. Lando comes in, sure. Here you go, Curem Black, probably. Or Gliscor. Okay, the deal with Curem Black, let me pause for a second. Right, so I don't know the sets, so maybe not. Okay, so I don't know the sets, so I don't know what the Curem Black is up to. The idea is that, by the way, this Landorus is very slow. It took hail damage after the Gliscor. Toxic Orb always activates last, so that doesn't. Or rather, the healing / damage always goes after the leftover, so that's not a piece of information. But hail eating Gliscor first tells you that this Landorus is very slow, or that this Gliscor is very fast. Although I think it doesn't make sense to run fast Gliscor on this team, so definitely a case where this is a special defensive Landorus. Now, why after the U-turn not go Q and Black on the Lando? The way I see it, the main worry if you do that is that you're kind of forced to click the ice move, and depending on the Curem set, which may very well be Freeze Shock on this type of build, you risk just not accomplishing anything. Even if you're Ice Beam, like you Ice Beam the Landorus, sure, but then what? Like your opponent just goes Jirachi, and then you have ice beamed it for 20%, and then you have to switch out and then lose momentum. With Gliscor, at least you can get rocks up, for example, and then you can go from there. Like, your opponent has a Starmie in sand / hail, and you have a Jellicent. So if it's offensive, it will take a lot of damage from between rocks and the weather plus Gliscor's Protect. You also have a Jellicent. If it's defensive, you can just go Jellicent here and you don't care. The counter problem then becomes that you cannot just toss Jellicent in because the opponent has a Keldeo and your only thing faster than Keldeo it seems to be this Kafrachi, who is already at half health. But I can see why Gliscor. I like Gliscor actually, probably more than anything else. Now, if you're Void, you just click rocks, I believe. I think they're both clicking rocks. Oh, it's toxic. Okay, in here play click rocks because I'm bad at the video game, unlike them. Man, this is tricky though. Very ambitious rocks, but hey, oh, now they both click rocks. Okay, that worked. This is why I don't like Hail. You're forced to run Gliscor, but you go into range of things so much faster, like Eden Power Ice Landorus, for example. And so you have to do some guesswork to get value out of Gliscor, which, I mean, if you're feeling it, sure, but like now, do you get outplayed? Yeah, right. See, this is a problem with Gliscor Hail, that you cannot recover out of HPI Landorus damage as easily because obviously Hail has halves your recovery, and so when you have a core like this one against Landorus, yeah, sure, you toxicity, great, may even end up winning the game. I don't know, but you then get a turn wrong like here, which, I mean, you're guessing, right? You have no way of telling whether your opponent is clicking your turn or Eden Power Ice. And if you stay in on Eden Power Ice with Gliscor, you die, and then everything is not lost, but almost. But if you switch and your opponent uters, it ends up like this turn, which is also very bad, because now you're back to guessing. Do you go Aboma on the Starmie, or do you stay in on the spin, or do you go Jelly on a potential spin as well? Like, all of these turns are very hard, and I think it comes downstream from running Gliscor Hail, although, I mean, you're kind of forced to, right? If you have a Hail team with some sort of defensive plan, you really need Gliscor. I'm just explaining why I personally don't like it. But if you like it, you can run it all you want. I'm not going to stop you. Okay, Balloon Starmie in sand. Some people will be very annoyed at this. Oh, wait. Psychic and spin. Okay, this was a very good turn for Atoq. I'm not sure this is how you pronounce the name, but I believe in myself. All right, you can go Jelly here, sure. HP Fire. Ooh, wow. Okay, you've Wisp here. There's really no other play. I mean, there are other plays, but I think Wisp is fine. Very good even. Alright, so now Latios only has like 3 more attacks. Okay, Hard Jelly. Oh, it's a special defensive fortress. Could have been snuffed out by the psychic damage, really. Okay, it's fine. Do you spike or do you... No, because you die, right? So you have to... Yeah, you have to do this. That's fine, because now your opponent has no real Uter switch in, because Lando will take rocks plus toxic. Right? And here you go Fortress, I believe. Aboma is fine, but the problem with Aboma is that it invites Tyranitar in, and it's not fantastic, but it's not the worst either. Okay, Stone Edge. Oh, it's Choice Band. Oof. Oh, this is a... Well, I mean, sometimes in life you don't know Rock Resist, so your Rock Resist becomes Dodging Stone Edge, which is exactly what happened. Ooh, this is This is a rough turn for Void. Jellicent would have dropped from this Stone Edge. Like, this is a banned Tyranitar. Oh, it wouldn't have dropped, actually. Never mind, I'm lying. Alright, 36. So would have done 72. So yeah, would have lived. And now you have to crit Stone Edge. Or else you're in a sticky situation. And that didn't happen. You have another 2 shots at critting, which are also shots at missing, but what can you do? Alright, this is getting really hard, I think, for Void. There's a full health Aboma and full health Jellicent on the other side. Yeah, good play here. You really don't want to risk the last turn crit on your Jelly, because Jelly is so strong in this matchup. It almost wins by itself from here, unless something very stupid happens, which, yeah. Okay, Aboma on Torachi. You know it's Rocks Lando, so you can just protect here, I believe. Unless this like sub 3 attacks, which will be catastrophic, but even then you have Hail, so it's fine. Okay, it's... Alright. Here, though, you go back into Aboma. You have to scout for like Expert Belt, that's my take. Or not, and your opponent just goes for it, which... Fair enough. You really need to recover. But if your opponent flinches you 4 more times, you die. Do you go for it? I think Void is going for it, and yeah. I mean, Jirachi dies to Ironet plus Ale. Abomasno probably tanks one, but okay. Crisis averted for now. But your opponent has a lot more chances to keep going like this. I mean, we're going to see Jirachi just click Iron Head until either of the 2 dies. I think that's what's happening, and it's... Yeah. But Void does not play, right? Is Jellicent... He has got a Keldeo who may or may not... Oh. Skullburn. What's the play here? Aboma? I don't hate Aboma here. And I will not do that much, yeah. Okay, if you're Void here, what do? Do you go land rocks? Starmie? Oh yeah, it's Fire Starmie. You can just start Curem Black, really. I don't know the Curem set, but you can just go Curem here. Your opponent's got a Keldeo, man. Actually, if Keldeo is not specs, it doesn't one-hit KO. No. Crit. I don't like this at all. I think I'd rather sacrifice Jirachi here and then go Jelly and recover on the Starmie. That's... What? I mean, okay, sure, you go Rachi and you turn. Your opponent goes Lando, and... I think this was a... I think that going Jelly on the Starmie like that was a bad play. Because now you lose to Keldeo, most likely. Okay, Curem is faster. It's not the end of the world. Keldeo does not one-hit KO Curem. Unless it's... Even Specs, I don't think it kills if you have the 56 EVs. Or you get crit. Okay, never mind. I guess then it does KO you. And this is probably game over. You have to go... Aboma will die. Okay. Can Jirchi win? Can it? No. Yeah, you die from the next round of fail. You need that one crit. Will Sam even die? Yeah, it would, because Keldeo is Bill couldn't start me, and it took 22. Oh man. Okay, so checking the endgame battle chat, Void reveals that his specs, it is not specs, his mod is Keldeo, and I'm going to assume also specs. And so it would have killed the Cure Black without the crit. Because the timid does like 85 minimum and like 100 something maximum. Or maybe a little bit less, like 82, 97, something like that. But if he's modest, then yeah, of course, the card flips. Right. So the big problem here was this turn. Right. So you protect. Fantastic play. I mean, fantastic. It's, it's just a play. All right. So if you're here, you have a few paths. The way I see it, you need to recover your Jellicent. And Starmie is the only, like, Starmie is your best bet. Keldeo also potentially, but that's okay, because your opponent, like, from here, you don't know the Keldeo, that Keldeo is modest. Okay, so you can, it doesn't really matter. You can assume it's timid, because you have a Jellicent alive. So here's what I will do. Either if you have what's it called, Healing Wish on Jirachi, you can sacrifice Abomasnow, go Jirachi and Healing Wish or Jellicent, and then just click Recover until the end of times. If Keldeo locks himself into the Empower Ghost, if it even has it, it will do like 70, 65%, I think. You recover once and then switch out to your Cure and Black. Your opponent doesn't really have that many plays. Alternatively, you can just go Jelly, like sacrifice Aboma, go Jellicent, and recover. That's probably even better. Because then your opponent has no serious play against it. I mean, he has to fish a crate with Psychic, right? Or with Earthquake. The other alternative... is there an alternative? No, I think here you just sacrifice Aboma this turn, and then go Jelly and recover. That's the only... That's your best out, right? Your GH is low, 24%, but even if Lando gets rocks up, your opponent has a Keldeo that has to kill the Jelly, and to do that, he has to lock into a move that doesn't hit Cure and Black. And if it's not specs, Jellicent just walls it. And even Cure and Black like can tank one, even with rocks up. And yeah, no. Why? Okay. The other way to look at this is that what do you need to win this game? Jellicent 100% and Cure and Black probably, because there's a Keldeo on the other side. So you need to make sure the Keldeo doesn't just kill both of them at once, else you lose. And the only way to accomplish it here is like the safest way to accomplish it is to sacrifice a Boma here and then go Jellicent and click recover. You can save the if you're Healing Wish, you can save it for later as well. Now, I don't know the Jellicent set, but if you recover it on the Starmie, and say Landorus comes in, you can just spam recover on Lando, and then you will have a healthy Jellicent on the field against a Keldeo and Starmie with Hail Up. You can then recover once with Jelly on the Keldeo, or you can even attack it, actually. That's fine too, because... Or rather, Will-O-Wisp it. Because Keldeo is forced to lock into a move that doesn't hit Cure and Black, so you can then just switch into Cure and Black. And once Kieran Black is on the field, you can just attack with like hair power. It doesn't matter because you have a Burn Kelly on the field, and then eventually later on you healing wish your Jellicent, and the game is over. Let's work it back. Like let's go over this once more, right? Because this is a very abstract game plan. Okay, so we're here. Starmie is at 45%, and Aboma is at 80%. Okay, so this turn you sacrifice Aboma's no. Starmie is at 39%. You send in Jellicent, click recover. If the Starmie will probably stay in Enclip Psychic, it will do 35%, give or take. Actually, maybe you can just calculate it. Hold on a second. Let's add a new source because I don't have this ready. Window capture. New. Right, we're here. Except it's gigantic. Okay, let me fix this for a moment. Also, you go here. Yeah. We don't. Well, this is how we roll. Okay, you are gigantic though. Don't really. Okay, here we are. We can make it a bit more readable by doing this and this and this, and I guess this, but still not very readable. Okay, this should be much better. Right, a bit stretched, but this works. Does it? Let's improve it a little bit more. Like this. That's fine. All right. So I'm in black and white. Sure, I'm Jellicent, all standard. Sure, whatever. Starmie. I have Psychic. Right. We are. Right. Our Jellicent is at what? No sec. Let's see. Jelly's at 46%. So the Psychic will never kill, right? 29 for 34%, so you can just recover. And that will be totally fine. So you can just spam recover on the Starmie and you only lose to a crit on the spot at least. So your opponent... Why is my model like that? Okay, I don't know, man. No. Okay, you stay crying, whatever. Right, so you just spam recover on the Starmie. Either the Starmie switches to Jellicent to Kelly immediately to threaten your Jellicent, because at least there's the threat of the Kelly on the field, but there's no rocks up, so that's probably a stupid idea. No, your opponent has to sacrifice the Starmie, right? But this looks very lost. Unless Starmie treats the jelly, which you have 3 chances to. You can also special defensive drop, which also works. And then that will force the Jellicent player to go Cure Black on the Starmie and just kill it and sacrifice to Keldeo, then go GH and dealing with the Jellicent up. That's a pretty okay play as well, though. Like, that's fine, even if it happens like that. You're in a good spot, I think. So, you sacrifice a Boma, you go Jelly, recover. If the Psychic drops your special defense, or crits... Okay, if it crits, you've lost. If it drops your special defense, though, that's totally fine. You can just immediately switch into Kiran Black. And then You have Q and Black in on the start me, you just air power. Even if your opponent spins, that's fine. The worst thing that could happen, there are still problems with that because your opponent can just switch into Keldu once it sees your leftovers. But that's okay. Is it even leftovers? You can still outplay the Keldu when it's like that, at least. Like, you have an out, even if it goes unlucky for you. Unless you get crit, then it's over at the end. But trying to figure out how to remove the tears. Okay, we did it. Fantastic. Right, so this was the turn that was that flipped the game from almost guaranteed win to guaranteed loss. It was still doable from here. I think you just go Aboma, sacrifice it, and then go Jirachi and Healing Wish the Jelly, and then you can still win if it goes like that, assuming you have Healing Wish. But if you just go Jelly on the Starmie, you guaranteed low. Like, this is over. Keldo wins from here. Unless... No, there's no unless here. You just lose from here. Alright. Yeah, this was kind of tossed, I would say. Which happens, but it should really not happen in the finals of a tournament. But what can you do? Sometimes this game is just hard, okay? And... well, no, this is just game. Kelly wins. I wonder if here... okay, if you protected here, you would have won, by the way, at the end, because you will see that Keldeo lives with 2% here, and so if the Keldeo took the extra round of Hail, it would have died this turn, and then you would have a 5% Jirachi against a 20% Starmie, and since Ironhead was doing 20% to Keldeo, Starmie is frailer than Keldeo. It has only like like comparable defense, but like 60 less HPs, and so it would have absolutely died. So this was a double toss, actually. Wow. This was a catastrophic endgame. Alright. Yeah, this was bad, actually. I just noticed that the Aboma Snow didn't even protect on the Keldeo at the end. Like, this was one, even with the tossing of jellies. And no, this is so sad. Ah, well. Pokemon, what can you do? And that's it. Fun game still, but I really wish there wasn't those two silly mistakes at the end. Although they were facilitated, it must be said, by a Stone Edge miss. Although I will also say that if you click Stone Edge, you're going to miss, and it's only the third, by the way. But what can you do? People like clicking an accurate muse, and then they miss, and then they're like, oh, well, yeah, but only if I hit. Yeah, but don't click Stone Edge, man. I have a full video on that. But yeah, that's just how the game goes. And that's it. See you next time.